All right, we are live. Welcome back to another episode from College to Combine. I love Riley. Smile at the beginning of my day and the beginning of my streams. How are you today?
I'm very, very excited for today.
Why is that? Why are you excited today?
You tell me, kid.
Okay, well, I guess I will. It's because with Scott Fishbowl drafts, live drafts are starting all around the country right now. We got my own one. I'm in it myself. I am in the Rochester division. Shout out to my New Yorkers. And we are drafting in about a week. So I thought, where better to do a mock draft than on from College to Combine with my good pal Riley in a lovely shirt today. I got to say, that color looks fantastic on you.
It's so perfect. I wear this shirt all the time, and I had some steak dinner, and I put a big dish towel.
You
like
had some steak dinner.
It's just in case I spilled, and I didn't.
You know what? That feels like a high bar for you. You know, not spilling your steak
Really.
sauce on your lovely shirt. And ultimately, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. But before we get into that, before we get into the big meat of the show, that rapid fire mock draft as well. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, a mock draft, that's fun, but it'll take forever. We're doing 60 seconds per pick. That is rapid lightning fire. We're going to run through that bad boy real quick. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to, for frequency's sake, where you're watching right now. Definitely drop and subscribe, turn on those notifications, check them out on Twitter. And of course, IDP guys, where you're checking out that promo code, scrolling across the bottom of the screen if you are watching on YouTube or any type of video format. There is a 4th of July sale that we'll be going through at least this weekend, maybe a little bit longer, depends on you guys. 4th of July, plug that promo code in. You can get anything on the IDP guys site off for 10%. That's a steal, honestly. We also announced the Masters League this weekend, which is awesome. I'm going to be in that. A lot of big IDP experts. Huge tournament. Check it out. But all of that, huge news, Riley. SFB, Scott Fishbowl, huge news. But the biggest news was Mr. Baker Mayfield, who we've been talking about forever. And now he has finally found a home. He is in Carolina, traded by the Browns for a conditional 2024 fifth that can turn into a fourth with certain incentives that I'm sure is akin to a cheaper Carson Wentz deal. What was your immediate reaction when you saw this news?
I said this is probably the least of first overall pick has ever been traded for in the history of the NFL. A 5th round pick, plus the Browns are still paying the majority of his $18 million contract for the upcoming year.
It's such a great low risk deal for the Panthers. Like I saw some people ripping them apart just because of their process. Like, cut Cam, sign Cam, bring in PJ Walker, trade for Sam, bench Sam. And it's been a cluster, it's been terrible in Carolina. But that doesn't, just because their past decisions are bad doesn't mean this one is bad. And I really do like this move. Sam Darnold is not the answer. I said this on Twitter. If you followed, I've been very vocal today. Definitely check out my Twitter at Michael__Scully. But I am going to stat out Baker Mayfield as the week 1 starter, and the week 2, the week 3, all the way to week 17 or week 18, I guess, because I have him starting every single game. This is Baker Mayfield's job. I think he's going to be a good fit for this team, and he will keep them competitive. What does that mean for fantasy, Riley?
It's a slight upgrade for everyone involved. Huge upgrade for Baker himself, since he was going to be riding the pine in Cleveland. Riding the pine. Yeah, solid news all around for everyone. Exciting for your DJ Moore boy.
Yeah, obviously DJ Moore is the big winner of this, and I don't want to say something concrete because I'll do the Panthers eventually in my rankings, so I'll have some more tangible stats to throw. But touchdowns-wise, I'm still a little bit concerned for DJ Moore. I don't think we're going to see that top 10 ceiling that we want because of the touchdowns still won't be there. But that doesn't mean that the receptions won't be, because all of a sudden these are catchable targets by Baker Mayfield. And everyone wants to bring up OBJ like OBJ wasn't, they didn't work. OBJ and Baker didn't work. This is now a different offense. This is a different player. This is a different circumstance. It's not really equatable to me. So I'm very in on DJ Moore, who just got a big uptick. Robbie Anderson had the funny moment on Instagram where he laughed at the idea of Baker Mayfield becoming a Panther. He will still be the wide receiver 2. But I'll throw out this name, which will transition well into – I'll say this quickly before we transition. but I have Baker Mayfield as my QB 20 in my rankings right now. I quickly plugged it around. I'll play with it, but that's about what I expect. I think it's going to be a limited ceiling for a guy that while I'm statting out McCaffrey for 17 games, it's going to be a run-heavy team still. It'll be balanced, but I don't think Baker is leading this team in any way. But with that in mind, on the topic of the Panthers, I want to bring up training camp standouts, Riley. I know we each grabbed a couple names. I have a few to throw, and I'll start off with Terrace Marshall because I'm not a Terrace Marshall guy. You're not a Terrace Marshall guy. But I've said all offseason that he is worth dirt, and he has a real opportunity to be the wide receiver 2 for this team because I don't think Robbie Anderson is not given anything. He should be the 2, but he's not locked in. He has not played well enough to be that. Now, if Robbie Anderson is, whatever, if Terrace Marshall can take advantage of that, this was a second-round pick who just had a good spring, who now has a new quarterback with new tendencies, who might not take to Robbie Anderson. He could be the wide receiver 2 for this roster that all of a sudden might have a attractive wide receiver 2 role. That's all I'm saying. I don't like him very much, but that opportunity still exists. Riley, what does training camp standouts do you have to bring up?
Laviska Shenault has been getting talked up in training camp. A guy I own in a dynasty somewhere that I acquired for probably like a third-round pick or something. Got him on the cheap, but he's been working out as a returner, which you wouldn't like to see. But he's been getting talked up as a wide receiver. Being sure-handed, his confidence is high now that he's working with Trevor Lawrence more. And even though he took a serious hit on the depth chart this year, we're not really expecting too much from him because Jacksonville went out and got all their guys, all their great free agent superstars.
Zay Jones, Laquan Treadwell.
Big Zay Jones. But yeah, Laviska Shenault, it's surprising to see his name on that list, seeing as they signed all those big guys.
Well, do you want to know why, Riley?
Why is that?
Because he's also involved with trade rumors. And this, to me, regardless of maybe he played well, maybe he didn't. If reporters are saying he did, I don't think Shenault is a bad player. But I think this is pumping the tires. This is them trying to build a trade market for a guy they've been trying to ship off since Doug Peterson got to town. But that's why I think of it. I'll throw out another name, Grant Delpit, on the IDP front here. I wrote about Grant Delpit on the IDP Guys newsletter. Check out my Twitter if you want to subscribe to that. Totally free. Great weekly content. But I wrote about Grant Delpit as a breakout candidate a couple of weeks ago, as a guy that has a real opportunity to step in the box and be the big free safety that he was at LSU and can step up here. We have John Johnson coming in, who's more of a coverage guy as his running mate. There's a big need for linebackers still with the Browns. They have Mac Wilson. They brought back Anthony Walker. But Grant Delpit is the safety that if they ask one to, it will be him to step up. He was really promising in the limited reps he has as a starter. He has had a good spring, good offseason. He has real opportunity to jump upon that. And he's the reason why I like targeting safeties late. I also mentioned Julian Lovin this week. Definitely check that out. But another name I want to throw out, Eno Benjamin. Don't really care for him too much, but he had a good spring, and Darrell Williams is not given the backup role for this team. Everyone's anointing Darrell Williams as the backup running back for the Cardinals, but Eno Benjamin is the incumbent. He could just as easily be the backup as opposed to a 30-year-old Darrell Williams. I buy that type of news, Riley. I think Eno Benjamin will be the backup in Arizona come week 1. Is that overreacting?
Yes. I think Darrell Williams will be the backup pretty easily.
I just don't think I guess in different terms of backups, right? I think Eno Benjamin can get more carries than Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams can get more receptions than Eno Benjamin. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
And then they combine. And then they can combine to be half of what Kyler Murray does on the ground.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah. Fantastic. But we'll move on to a team that is just as unattractive in the running game in a way. Not really. That wasn't a fair transition. Cordell Patterson. All right. Weird guy, weird breakout, great breakout last season as an RB. Now not expected to carry the full workload, which should not have been really a report, right? He wasn't a 3-down guy last year. He had 150 or so carries. That's not top 10, not top 20. He's going on this extra year of a year that was very clearly a fluke year in a way. This was a huge anomaly for him. And now they added in who they had. They had Damon Williams. They had my guy, your guy, I guess, Tyler Algier, a guy that listen. If anyone has followed this show, we've been talking about Tyler Algier forever, and now he has a real opportunity here because Cordell Patterson. Every report is we're gonna take away a little bit of that load because throwing more on an aged player that isn't really a running back is a bad idea. So I think Tyler Algier has a real opportunity to be the number one running back for this team come year's end. And I think he's going to be a fantastic waiver at some point this season.
Fair. That's fair. And you know I love my BYU fellas.
You know what? Your BYU fellas. You know, that's all I care about. But you know what, Riley? I think we both were itching a little bit there, right? We were talking news. After the Baker, we talked about a couple things we needed to talk about.
I think we're just itching because we both got haircuts today.
We did both get haircuts today. I feel like mine, I don't know. I don't know if mine is short enough. Please jump in the comments of the YouTube section to say who has a better haircut because that's pretty much the only reason we put on this show this week, right? I think it's yours. I'll be honest. I think you came more prepared than I did.
I did. I just got this haircut like an hour ago.
Well, I got it 4 hours ago. Dang it. Okay. Well, fair enough. You beat me there, but where I will beat you is in this SFB mock. All right. Now, we are going to jump into this. I'm going to quickly run through the rules of the Scott Fish Bowl, the 12th annual Scott Fish Bowl, because it's a mouthful. Riley, I know he rolled his eyes when he first looked at it. I'm just assuming. So this is a super flex with a half-point tight end premium. That tight end also gets an extra half point on first downs. Rushing and receiving first downs also get a half point. It is half point PPR in general. On the passing end, there's a completion percentage bonus, a 6-point passing touchdown format, and every interception is worth -4 as opposed to -2. Finally, the bigger one is there is a third round reversal, which means snake, and then we jump back to where it was. That person that picks 12 in round 1 is now picking first in round 3, and then it continues to snake throughout the entire way. I think that pretty much wraps it up, Riley. There's some kicker rules in there that hopefully we'll get to a little bit midway into it because kickers are interesting. All right. It's a point per field goal made, 0.1 per yard of that field goal, and then 1 point per PAT. Are you ready to jump into this, Riley?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
So we're going to jump into this right here. I am picking from the 11 spot. That's where I'm going to be picking from the Rochester division. If you are in that division, please leave the stream now so you don't see exactly what I'm planning because I am authentic. Riley will be going at the 105. Ready to kick this off?
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Now that's the exciting thing I want to hear. All right. 101.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
Well, let's see because we have Josh Allen going 101, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert.
This is an easy one now, isn't it? I can't believe I'm gonna take Mahomes. I would take Mahomes over Herbert. I know that's not the trendy thing to be doing right now.
See, now you've left me with this 60-second timer to get this pick, and we'll also announce. I would have taken Lamar Jackson because I think getting rushing first downs as a bonus there is a real asset. Now, the completion percentage might make me lean Mahomes. He's still great. My rankings would bear Lamar higher. But now I'm on the clock. My quarterback tiers have dipped here, right? Without Kyler Murray on the board, I don't want to leap for Dak. I like Russ, but I think Russ can come around to me on the turn here. I'm going to take Justin Jefferson, the guy that will get 1 million targets in this format. He is also just a fantastic target. You're picking stones between him and Jamar, but I'm going to take Justin Jefferson as a guy that's going to get more volume, which is more important in this type of format. So I'm going to take Justin Jefferson. After that goes Dak Prescott, then Derrick Henry. It snakes to me, and I'm going to take a guy that jumped in my rankings more than I thought he would, and that's going to be Russell Wilson. I don't leave my Superflex leagues I don't leave the first 3 rounds of my Superflexes without at least 1 to 2 quarterbacks. I wasn't going to leave Russell Wilson to chance there.
Let's see.
Jamar Chase at the 203, though. That would have been a tempting start.
Crazy. I would have been really tempted to take him over Russ there, but I think I would have done the same thing. I'm looking between Dalvin and Jalen Hurts right now. It's easier for me to go Dalvin here because I took Mahomes in the first round, so I don't need to take another quarterback here. So, yeah, I will take Dalvin.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think I would have taken – I am distraught. Okay, let me quickly run through what happened there. So, in between my pick and Riley's, we had both of the top-tier tight ends, and Kelsey and Andrews go off the board. Devontae Adams went. Riley took Dalvin Cook. Then Joe Mixon, Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford. Now, in this format, Riley, where completion percentage is a bonus here, and you want those – like, you get rushing first downs for quarterbacks as well, but I very much value that completion percentage. And that's where I would have veered away from Jalen Hurts. I would have taken Tom Brady or Matt Stafford personally. But I am just upset that neither came back to me here. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers. I'm looking at Derek Carr. I'm looking at Trey Lance. Now this third-round reversal gives me a bonus here, but I don't like any of these quarterbacks here to leap as opposed to values like DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb, or Diggs. I got to make a decision here. I have 10 seconds. I think punting running back is close to a good idea. Man.
Uh-oh. 3, 2, 1.
I took DeAndre Swift. I tilted a little bit there based on bye weeks. I didn't want to take both Jefferson and Diggs having the same bye week. I might regret that. But in a format like this, I kind of want to cover my bases. You are up after me. It went Stephon Diggs, Kyle Pitts, Aaron Rodgers, CeeDee Lamb, and Deebo Samuel.
I'm really upset I didn't get Deebo here, but I get the next best thing in Tyreek Hill, who's still a fantastic player.
He would have been my top wide receiver on the board. I would have given a strong look to Breece Hall, who I really do like this year.
I gave a strong look to Javonte.
Yeah, Javonte Williams, who went right after your pick, and then Nick Chubb, A.J. Brown, George Kittle, Breece Hall, Derek Carr, Aaron Jones, and Trey Lance. You are up again.
Now I'm in a really interesting spot. I'm in on Saquon this upcoming year, and this is a total value for where I think he'll finish, but I also need a second quarterback in Kirk Cousins this year, who I also think is a value at this position. So I need to go Kirk Cousins. I can't go the first 4 rounds without 2 quarterbacks. So I want to take Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. I don't think he would have made it back to me, but I would. Kirk Cousins is a smash value there. I probably should have given him more thought over even Swift at 302. That's how highly I view Kirk Cousins. But what's done is done. I am also upset to see that both Mike Evans and Keenan Allen went off the board right before me, which is very upsetting. That leaves me with options like T. Higgins, Zeke Elliott, Cam Akers, Antonio Gibson. Travis Etienne is tempting here, as is a guy like Deontay Johnson. But I'm going to go with a little bit of a safer pick, which I'm not in love with. I don't like playing it safe in big tournaments like this, but I'm going to go with Michael Pittman, a guy that I think has a very locked-in market share for an upgraded team. I think Matt Ryan will be a very effective quarterback for Michael Pittman. But comes around to me again, Darren Waller, Antonio Gibson goes on the turn. And I don't think I can pass up the value of T. Higgins at this point. I have to weigh here, though. I'd be going 1 quarterback into round 6 and waiting, 20 selections or so without taking another quarterback. Now, that's difficult for me to do. I want to take T. Higgins here because the value is tremendous. I want to take Cam Akers because I think the value is good, too. But it's about playing the board. I want Travis Etienne. But listen, wide receiver is a deep position. Taking a wide receiver here would be a big detriment to my roster, whereas I could fill that position later. RB2 is still a replaceable role, especially with waivers running. I'm going to take what some might perceive as a leap, and I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to take a quarterback that I think takes a big step up as a very talented player. I think the Jaguars surround him with bad assets, but enough. And I think we're going to see that this year.
I'm looking at Jalen Waddle here, and that would be my pick if I didn't already have Tyreek Hill. I don't need another quarterback. It's probably between Deontay Johnson and I had to scroll down a little bit because his ADP hasn't really been updated. But now that the Baker trade has gone through, I'll take DJ Moore.
Oh, that's Damn.
Kind of a slam.
Oh, that's well done. You know what? Someone's got to up the ADP, but
Yeah,
I wasn't as heads
call
up to
that
do
pick
it.
what you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna as you think over this pick, I'm gonna bring up my good editor at IDP, guys, Gary. Thought about Waller there. I did consider him, especially with the probability that he would go on that turn with the premium format. I worry about someone who's depended very much on targets and has not Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow are here to stay. I firmly believe Renfrow is not regressing, and that leaves me with a difficult spot with where Waller is going to be. Hence my a little bit hesitation versus my love with Michael Pittman. But go on, Riley. Sorry to leave you with 20 seconds.
I'm going to take it. It sketches me out going this long without a running back, which I know is kind of people are shifting away from that. But I'm going to take A.J. Dillon here because I think he's a really good player, and I think that Green Bay is going way more run than pass this year. I mean, we all kind of know that. Ooh, you just got sniped there for sure.
I was not going to take Dallas Goedert. It would have been a strong consideration for me. But I couldn't bring myself to do that right now over names on the board that I like quite a lot. And one of those names, I'm not going to overthink it. Do you know? I'll let you say it for me.
I think you're going to take Jerry Jeudy.
I'm not, because I love Jerry Jeudy, but I'm not. I'm going to take Mike Williams.
That was my second guess.
Is a ridiculously great talent who I love as my wide receiver 3. I have stability here. This is what matters in roster construction. Justin Jefferson, weekly, unbelievably high floor. Michael Pittman, I predict to have a very high floor with the target share he has and the skill set he has. Mike Williams might be a little bit more boom bust, but that's what I want in my wide receiver 3, especially in a tournament format.
Plus, DeAndre Swift has one of the safest floors as a running back in the league.
Yeah, with the receiving, and yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking for. Now, I am looking here at my third quarterback. I never want to be caught with my pants down in regard to that. Now,
that's such a funny
I know
phrase.
you like that. I know.
So
I know. I'm looking at Matt Ryan. I'm looking at Jameis Winston. Now, there's still a lot of receivers I like, so I'm not going to take a guy I also love in Jerry Jeudy. The clock is ticking. I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill. There's a lot of people I'm looking at. I'm going to take Ryan Tannehill. I tilt a little bit.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, I tilt. I tilt very much. But I'll give you a reason why. I'll say quick because you got to talk over your pick. But Trevor Lawrence has a very wide range of outcomes. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to be running the ball a bit more than people predict. He's around my QB 19 in rankings, which would have been right in line with some of these other names I have here, but like Jameis Winston's only a couple spots behind. Matt Ryan, who I have predicted for a great year, is still my QB 21.
I'm taking Matt Ryan, by the way.
That's fine. And I was upset to see Matt Ryan fall so far in my rankings, but it just doesn't run enough. But now we have Brandon Cooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CH, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cortland Sutton, Zach Ertz, Rashad Bateman off the board after your pick. Allen Robinson, Cortland Sutton, and Bateman seem like really great values at this point.
Cortland Sutton was a tremendous value. It was between Sutton and Ryan there for me. I took Ryan just because I needed another quarterback, and there are so many good values here that I'm after. I will take probably the most talented player of all the players left on the board, Devontae Smith.
Interesting. I am upset to see the one running back that went off the board between your second pick and mine was Miles Sanders, who I've been talking up all offseason and would have been my pick here. That is definitely a kick in the behind, if you don't mind me saying. But
yeah, he was a value there too.
Yeah, but I'm going to take another guy I perceive as a value, a guy that should be a good chain mover and a good first down machine in this type of, in this SFB format, and also combines with a little bit of floor plus some upside. I don't think people address the upside enough. I'm going to take Juju. Now, it is definitely upsetting, as I knew he would go. Jameis Winston goes at 9-1, Hunter Renfrow at 8-12. Knowing that Jameis came back to me as opposed to taking Tannehill at the 7-2, that's upsetting. I wish I could reset that. But I can't. So I'm going to load up at tight end now. I'm going to take my tight end. I'm going to take Dawson Knox, a guy that I have him taking up a small uptick in target share and will still be a very high touchdown scorer. You're up. Pat Freiermuth going off the board right before you as well.
That's upsetting. I was going to take him there.
I'm sure you were. Now, there's a guy that Twitter goes ablaze about who you said I don't want to talk about today.
Right at him.
Gabe Davis at the top of the ADP here. everyone complaining about Gabe Davis, but right now he's probably the wide receiver 35 off the board, give or take. We probably had at least 30 off the board here.
I'm looking at some tight ends right now. Mike Gesicki and Alberto are the first two. I'm not particularly interested in either of them. So I guess I'm kind of punting that position, which is a little upsetting. I can't believe he's fallen this far, but I have Kirk Cousins, so I'm gonna take Adam Thielen, who's still such a good player. He's still an incredible player.
That could be a real steal this late, honestly. Mm-hmm. I like
Melvin
that.
Gordon was another player I was looking at there. Okay.
Melvin Gordon goes off the board at the 9-12. Can't make it back to you. Neither did Devin Singletary or Kareem Hunt.
I was going to
take. You're still looking at running back.
I'm gonna go tight end now. I'm gonna go Cole Kmet, the guy you've been talking up for forever.
I have been.
Just about one of the only good things left in Chicago.
I truly would have considered doubling up a tight end in this format and taking Cole Kmet here. I know I've seen a lot of people in mock drafts doubling up, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Double your chances. Now, I'm sitting here still with no RB2. A lot of people are probably screaming at me, Michael, what are you doing? You're going crazy. But the names never really fell like I wanted to. And I'm not going to reach for a per positional value, especially in a format that is I have waivers in this. I have trades. I will find running backs that can fit my roster. Again, the one pick I'm regretting is this Tannehill pick, because I still would be happy with Daniel Jones as my QB3. I'd be happy with Davis Mills as my QB3. But can't change the past. I am going to take my running back here. I think Chase Edmonds is a very undervalued name right now. A guy that I think we were all so excited to see where he can land at free agency. The Dolphins prioritize him. And while I think we expect, Raheem Mostert to have a bigger role than most people think, right? We're in agreement with that, I think, right?
Maybe. I mean, as long as he can, even if he stays healthy.
That's the thing. I think if he's healthy, he gets it. But I don't think he stays healthy. So that leaves Edmonds in a very promising role to me as the passing downs guy. But I'm looking at a couple names here. I have my pick on the turn. Claypool and Penny went off the board. I'm looking at Robert Woods, who I think is an unbelievable value here. And I'm looking at Russell Gage with a hint towards a guy like Ramondre Stevenson because my need at running back. But I'm still going to take the positional value. Robert Woods, Russell Gage. That's difficult. Man. Alan Lazard gave me an eye too, but I'm going to take Robert Woods, a little bit more proven, higher ceiling being the number one in that offense than Russell Gage. He will not out-target other guys, but I like Robert Woods as an 11th round pick here.
I got my guy, the second best pass catcher left in Green Bay.
I want to hear your take on this. I was doing a mock earlier today. I took Alan Lazard over Michael Thomas. I also took Russell Gage over Michael Thomas. What are your thoughts on that?
That's crazy. I think that's crazy.
Yeah. You know,
I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief.
I don't know if Michael Thomas plays football. The man still isn't healthy. He's running routes against air, and that's all we have of him. But you're up on the clock here. We had a couple of rookies go off the board. Jameson Williams, Sky Moore, Christian Watson. A couple other names. Who are you taking here with your second pick here at the 12?
So I could take Alexander Madison and handcuff my Dalvin Cook. I could take MVS and hope for some upside in the Kansas City offense. I could take Jacoby Myers as a nice first down getter. I could take Irv Smith. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I have a lot of Vikings already. Wow, I have like the entire Vikings team.
Irv. Take Irv. Double up, man. Come on.
I'm going to take Rachaad White. I'm going to take the pass catching back out of Tampa Bay, who I think is talented enough to get involved right away.
You know, that's you know my feelings with Rachaad White. I like that a lot. Now, I'm going to bring this up saying that I don't think there's a world Team 3 goes with, or what's it called? Everyone has two quarterbacks in this format right now. I think most teams would have the third right now, so counting on Daniel Jones, Davis Mills being here at the 12 in your SFB mock might be bad advice. That's the computer side of it. But guys like Mitch Trubisky will probably still be here. And if I can get Mitch Trubisky in the 12th, I'd rather that than Tannehill in the 7th. I'm going to continue to shred my own pick. But I'm not going to take my fourth quarterback. I'm going to look and see what I can do at the running back position. And I'm going to take a guy that I just talked up before. I put my money where my mouth is. You know, I don't think I said that well. But Mr. Tyler Algier.
That's
My
what I thought
running
you were
back,
going.
my rookie. I'm going to take him. Irv Smith goes off the board after that. A little bit upsetting. Rondell Moore going after that. I'm going to take a brief look at tight end. I don't really see any names that I want to take here. Rob Gronkowski would be a great pick if he was actually playing. Man, now I'm in a tight spot, right? And I'm going to take a quick look at kicker. I am. Because of the value that can bring on yardage. It's something I still have to predict out, but if you hit 2 40-yard field goals, that's a 10-point performance. And that's not factoring in PATs or anything. I'm not going to pull the trigger yet there. I kind of want to, but I want to experiment a little bit more. Oh, man. I'm not in love with a lot of names here, and I'm not really too sure what direction to go. And the clock's ticking. Oh, boy. Oh, no. All right. We're gonna take a leap pick here. We're gonna take Justin Tucker. We're gonna take the first kicker off the board. Listen, I don't know how well that'll work out. I'm gonna pull up his player card for people to see based on the scoring because it's really hard to contextualize. But it's very safe. That's a safe pick I made with Justin Tucker there, going with an average of 10 points a week or so. I can lock that in. Justin Tucker is Justin Tucker. You are on the clock. Who are you looking at?
I think I'm gonna take Jacoby Myers here. He's a super safe guy, first down getter, and I think the offense has improved. He's on an improved offense, and one that he performed in well last year. Let's see. It was between him and Darrell Henderson. I was looking at Darrell Henderson pretty hard right there.
Darrell Henderson, who went right after your pick as well.
Yeah. There are no running backs here that interest me really whatsoever, except for the backups, which I can take a little bit later on. I think I'm going to take my second tight end here. And it's between the top two on the board, David Njoku or Gerald Everett. I'm going to take David Njoku.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, his situation has obviously changed completely overnight. I still think he's talented, and I still think there's a decent amount of vacated targets with Jarvis Landry being gone and Odell with the short time he was there being gone. So there's a question mark. There's some glimmer of upside in David Njoku right now.
I think that a lot of people I think I'm going to treat Cleveland like I'm treating Seattle.
And that's fair, and I don't blame you.
I'm hands off of everything in both situations. But with that in mind, I'm going to take a team that I am hands-on in every situation. And I'm going to take – actually, I'm going to tilt here. I was going to take Gerald Everett as my second tight end. However, the team 12 has 2 tight ends. I don't think they'll take 3 here. Now, I am going to go a little bit interesting. I'm tilted. Oh, shoot, I don't have time. I got Gerald Everett in. Okay. I wanted Gerald Everett anyway. That's kind of who I want. Oh, and it just autoed me for Jameson. Whoa, what are we doing here?
You're silly.
What are we doing here? Hold on. Hold the phone.
Hold
up. I don't want Jameson Crowder. People won't believe this, but I would have wanted Raheem Mostert. But well, you know what? That's fine. You know what? I made the mistake. We're gonna move on here. I'm looking at a few names to bolster on my running back. I only have 3 right now. That's kind of fine, though. I'm going to take a different wide receiver because running backs at this point are not going to help your team unless there's an injury, and then you're going to cut them for someone more meaningful. I'm going to take KJ Osborne, a guy I've talked up extensively this offseason as the new wide receiver 3. Not new, but the wide receiver 3 on this team. You are up, Riley. I'm going to unpause the draft. I didn't even pause it, but that should fix it. Go on. You are up here in the 15th round at the 15-8.
Okay, let's see.
In fact, Riley, I'm going to up the timer here. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go up it to 30 seconds.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah,
that is pretty.
Let's
crazy.
go. Let's go. We're gonna
jump on my QB4 now, and I'm going to take Davis Mills.
I held myself from doing it because I am so confident that guys like Daniel Jones and Davis Mills will not be here in the actual draft, so it's not fair. But it's a smash value here. No one should be thinking that we're just passing on these guys because quarterbacks are valuable.
Kenyon Drake is really low in ADP.
It's because of Zamir White, man.
Yeah.
And he's hurt still, Kenyon Drake.
He is hurt still.
It's really exciting for him.
Yeah, the running backs have actually really fallen off here.
That's the CPU side of it a little bit, but
it is.
It's what we have to deal with here, especially me.
I forgot about your 30-second clock.
Well, you have Keontae Ingram.
Nice.
That's fantastic. Could beat out Darrell Williams, I suppose, and Benjamin. But I got 20 seconds here to make a very quick pick. I gotta speed this up, and I will just take Dalen Jones. I don't want anyone to think I would have taken Dalen Jones 3 rounds ago, purely based on the rushing upside I think he has. But he won't fall any further here. I will take him there. And I'm looking at my third tight end even because I'd like to shotgun that position when I have 22 rounds to do so. So I'm not gonna overthink it. I don't have time to overthink it. I'm gonna take Brevin Jordan, the guy I will know immediately what I have. And now we have a kicker run.
No, I was gonna take a kicker. Are you serious?
Brutal. Brutal run. For anyone just listening, we just had 5 kickers go off the board between Riley's pick and mine. 6 between his last one. He has 15 seconds. He just lost out on. He has 7 kickers off the board now.
I thought I was being so smart.
Are you going to panic pick and take a kicker? Because the rest of the rosters are. Yep. And the kicker run continues. A magical line of purple courts the what is that? The 17th round. And then quarterbacks. The ADP CPU is having a day today. For the record, Baker Mayfield.
At this point of the draft, is value here as well. Guys. Who's that?
Baker Mayfield is a tremendous value here as well. We each have 4, so I don't know, but I'm just bringing that up.
Drew Lock's
again, players that will not be around in your actual draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Curtis Samuel just because I believe he still has a little bit of upside. He spent a lot of his time injured, and as we know, there are pretty much no weapons in the wide receiver room outside of Terry McLaurin and their first round pick, John Dotson.
Yep. I like that. That makes sense to me. I'm going to bring something up as I talk. Are you took Davis Mills over Baker Mayfield? Was that intentional?
Yes, it was.
Interesting. I'm going to quickly take Paris Campbell, a guy I love as they break out, as he will break out. And I'm going to double that up with a guy that I think, listen, I'm still in on Marvin Jones. He might be old, but he saw 15 red zone targets last year. I don't think anyone takes those away from him, and I think that opportunity share might grow. You are up right now, Riley.
I want to take Trey Sermon. Could you imagine? No.
Why is that? The wide receiver 2 for the Panthers is still out here.
That is true. But I'm going to take KJ Hamler instead.
Interesting. See, now that's where I would have taken Robbie here, who will go higher, I'm sure, come the actual draft time. But we have interesting. We are scraping the bottom of this draft. So thank you to anyone sticking with us because we are deep diving here, trying to find our champions for our SFB team.
Davis Mills, Nico Collins stack. Nico Collins, a player that we both like.
Nico Collins, we do both like, and he had a good offseason as well. It's another one of those standouts we talked about before.
Oh my God, there's another player here I definitely should have taken already. And I didn't know.
Oh boy! Well, now I have some pressure to find him. We still have starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett on the board, I suppose, but I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of names here that I'm just totally not interested in. But oh man, I don't have time for this, do I? I don't have any time. That's rude.
Boston Scott and Kenyon Drake.
Wait, oh my God, it autoed me again. Oh my goodness, this draft has gone off the rails. Hold on. Let me quickly get rid of Kenyon Drake. I'll deal with a Boston Scott over auto draft, but I will not deal with a double one for me not missing that. But I'll keep it quick. If I get auto drafted again twice, it would be embarrassing, even though the clock's not actually going. I'll just take a shot on running back, and I would have been auto drafted by now, wouldn't I have? Just give me Jacoby Brissett. I don't care. It just auto drafted again from Matt Breida. You know, that's karma. You're up. So that's karma. You're up. That's the 30-second clock. Yeah.
but I'm stuck.
And
with
he got
Terrace
picked right before you, so you got to take Terrace Marshall, your guy, right?
No. Zay
All right,
Jones
well,
was
your
awful.
final pick of the draft here. Final pick of the draft. The guy will be cutting in probably a week or two.
A. Rodgers.
Yeah.
Gotta
Now, if we're close to draft time, I'm going to give the PSA that. Wait. Oh, I'm still on auto.
You're
Oh,
insane.
wait.
You're literally insane.
Because it keeps on autoing me, man. Okay. You know what? That's a good way to end it, at least. I got a 3 running back end there with auto because they do not like how 0 RBI went there. Let me run through my team real quick. I had Russell Wilson, DeAndre Swift, Chase Edmonds, Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, Dawson Knox, Juju, Robert Woods, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Tucker at kicker. I'm not going to go through my whole bench, but visit the YouTube. I'm scrolling through mine right now. I will pull up Riley as you go through your starting lineup.
Okay, my starting lineup: Patrick Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, AJ Dillon, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Cole Kmet, Adam Thielen, Alan Lazard, Kirk Cousins, and Nick Folk. I think my team is way better.
We'll put up a poll on, I believe it'll go on Spotify if you're watching this on audio. And honestly, yeah, check out the Spotify version because there'll be a poll up on that. Check it out on Twitter, I'm sure, as well. I'm sure I'll post it on there for the results there because you want to vote on who did the better mock draft. Honestly, I like my team. I think I had a stronger start and a slower finish. I think I kind of neglected running back a little bit too much, and I don't think the computers appreciated that. But that will be our show. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us, especially through that mock draft with tons of twists and turns. My goodness, Riley, I almost got lost. But again, remember, promo code down there. There is a sale going limited time on the IDP Guys website, 10% off, whether you want a subscription, whether you want the IDP Guys draft kit, which is the only way to master your draft kit, your IDP drafts, because we have everything thrown in there, including extensive profiles. A draft kit, you get 10% off that. Whatever you want, check that out on the site. Use promo code 4th of July. That is the number, not spelled out. And of course, for frequency's sake, where you're probably watching this right now, if you're watching it live, definitely subscribe there. Check out both of those Twitters, IDP Guys and FFS2C. That will be our show. Follow Riley at Riley_Millette. Follow me at Michael__Sicoli. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a great week. Stay healthy. And